But it's just important all around as defending scout to be support. You don't want to be, anything else. You want to be support for the most part. Clean up kills, check the flanks, make sure your team has everything watched, and just support. We're gonna go over offense next, I guess.
I think the stream cut out again. I don't. Damn it. Can you guys hear me in chat? I think it's back up now. Fuck me. Okay, well. We can just talk about, let's talk about the pushing.
Okay. Well, I mean, the thing to do is basically send your scouts to A, right? Make sure they get the cap time on there, and they figure out what's at A. The scouts are pretty dispendable, so dispensable.
Okay. I think make sure you after you cap A, make sure you check everything when you're in A. Look for that that soldier heavy hiding in a sneaky spot, and look for sticky traps before you step on the point. You don't want to get depped by those. And then make sure you get the cap, and then clear C, I think, is probably your next the next step after that.
Yeah, you want to go through C. Or you don't have anyone else in your team run through and get dead by a sticky trap. You want to take out that teleporter. Look for it. If it's on the left side, don't assume they don't have it. Go over to the right side. Check that too. You want to take that down because that's going to be big. And yeah, if you've killed a guy or if your team has killed a guy, you want to try to spec him a little bit. Don't give up your own life. You don't have to engage him right away because he's got that health pack cabinet in the room there. So you want to just make sure he knows you're there, and that if he comes out, you're gonna shoot at him and make him think, buy some time.
Do you want to talk about pushing towards B?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a set. When we did it, we never really had anything that the scouts did particular other than support the team and going away from the combo and away from everyone else so that they're not taking heals, that they may be catching the roamer or a scout off guard. The other big thing was, and this is more of a team thing and I guess a scout thing, would be to play the game clock. Like everyone would be like, we're not just going to go in 5 seconds, the clock's ticking down consistently, so we're going at 8:23 or whatever the clock will be. And make sure you're on time with that, and that you play your role. There's not really much you can do in terms of being a lone hero on Gravel Pit as a scout. You really just want to make sure you play your role and do what the team has already predestined for you to do.
Okay. Should we talk about the off-classing for a little bit?
Sure. I guess you want
to. Do you want to do sniper? I'll just spec you for a minute.
Sure. I guess I'll start at, I'll go to C spawn. We kind of talked about it a little bit on scout, but if you're not going to spot A as a scout or a sniper, I really wouldn't even bother going to A as a sniper. You might get that pick now at the door since bonk is no longer allowed, but it's really not worth it. You're probably going to die from something or be hurt. You can get chased. It's not worth it. What I like to do is sit by the spawn over here and charge up a shot, and basically just charge up a shot here. You can actually, it was right here, so you can see all of the entrances. You need to periodically check to make sure you're not going to get ganked by a scout, but you can judge the timing by that, by when they cap and when they might be running. You'd be surprised how many demos you can catch out if they make a full C push. You can maybe go for the medic, and you can also catch a scout. The other thing is, once you do that, I guess it's going to do that to me. Basically, though, what I was doing to harass a lot of teams is I'd go sniper, try to get the pick, and then I would troll them. I would troll them around the teleporter with pyro. You have that cabinet right there to give you, all the health in the world. And if they're gonna go for the teleporter, you can, put them on fire, blast them away, troll them. Yeah. That's a pretty good little strategy. Let me go back to sniper. I'm on B, so that's pretty handy. The other thing is, once you are no longer effective at C, you need to take that telly before it goes down. Go scout, otherwise you're gonna get caught out. B as sniper. I don't know if you really want to be doing that too much. You need to play it with your team to see how they judge it. I think the sentry needs to be here if you want to snipe. Otherwise, there's just too much that can go on. Because you really want to snipe long. You want to snipe around this area. It's like the most effective for you to snipe. You have a lot of sight lines into sunny side and into long. And if the sentry's not really there, it gives a lot of freedom for players to come up and try to gank you. So you need to play it with your team for the most part. But if you are going to be here, just play it safe. You want to make sure that you're always spotting short and long. One of the things I like to do that's a little like trick is I would go here and I would jump, and then if you see you land, you're kind of lined up. You crouch, you let go and fire. And a lot of snipers like to just chill, like they'll peek in that little area and all you can see is their head. And if you do it correct,
I watched many a sniper duel there. I don't know how you guys do that, but
you can just pop up and you gotta get it.
That's pretty good.
That's handy. Yeah, other than that, yeah, it's I don't know. I haven't really sniped in this map like on defense in a long time. It's not really considered more useful than an NG scout, especially since the sentry here is more useful, like I said, and you really want the sentry to be there if you're gonna snipe.
Okay.
I think that's it for sniper defense.
Okay. Anything about heavy or what else? Spy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how I would define when to go spy. It's really like a spur of the moment thing where you need to get that pick. I think I like going spy most for attacking C. I really don't like spying on this map.
Yeah.
I think
it'd be more useful as another class.
As a scout or even maybe a sniper attacking.
Scout or sniper, even heavy, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm NG.
I think I'm in agreement with you there.
Yeah,
what else could we talk about? We didn't talk about pushing, did we?
No.
Right,
well, we did. We did as scout. We didn't as sniper.
We did as scout?
We did as scout a little bit. We talked about going into B. We didn't. I don't think we talked about going into C.
I think going into B is just pretty much making sure nothing flanks your combo on the side they're not pushing around the house. You can't really participate in the roof fight unless you do like one of those rollouts to get up top, and if you're probably gonna get shot at a lot if you try those. And I usually leave that to the soldiers during the pushes. I think generally you want to just kind of orbit your medic and make sure you're there at the end of his Uber to kill the bomber if he tries to kill him, to try and get a buff when the sentry goes down, and then you can get aggressive when the gun goes down if there's a gun. But other than that, I think you just kind of wait for soldiers to fall off the roof and go meat shot them, right?
Yeah, basically, you want to again not engage in direct 1v1s and clean up the rest of your team's damage. Everything revolves around the Uber and the power glasses for the most part. On Gravel Pit, you're basically there just to clean up the frags that they leave behind and take out the scout and the occasional scout 1v1.
What are we missing? Anything? Chat questions, guys? I can't think. I think we covered a lot. That was like 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
They covered so much. I mean, a lot of it's just positional things, but players can pick that up. And I think the biggest thing on Gravel Pit is, like I said, is playing as a cohesive unit with your team. You got to make sure you sit down with your team and come up with a plan for every point and almost every scenario. And you should probably do the cookie cutter things like have on C, have the sentry and shadow on B. You can mix things up every now and then, which is great with your scout off class. But other than that, make sure your team has a plan and that it works for you.
Yeah, that's the reason I like G-Pit is because you can do so many different loadouts or class loadouts. You can or your team setups, and aside from that, all the off classes are actually pretty effective. Spy maybe not so much, but you can make a really clutch play on Spy too. But the other ones are also a lot more viable than some other maps. Heavy, especially NG, even more so. You only ever see NGs on last and push maps. You can even find new gimmicks that work. There's a lot of gimmick plays that are fun too. That's another reason. Soldiers hiding in all these crannies that you have to check. Little things like charging up sniper shots in certain angles and then cycling in spawn to other classes. You can even do build a teleporter before the round starts and get people on roof if you want to do that in B. There's a lot of different things you can do. That's why I like G-Pit. Some guy asked when to push AB connector. I like it. I like it for a start of the round push. If you have your initial Uber, I think it's a good way to approach as long as you don't get dead by a sticky trap in any of these crannies. Yeah, I think it's a good way to approach. You can kind of actually milk your Uber getting out. Whereas versus long, you usually generally have to pop as soon as you get out or from C. But I think short and connector are pretty good for. If I'm medic, anyways, I like to try. I prefer the connector push. Um, yeah.
AB connector is great if you've known you've been spotted by a scout from C into A, and you think he's going to call that you guys are going C. You can feign that with a scout or maybe a scout and a roamer coming C, and then push the rest of your team through the connector, take them by surprise, because they might go up to the right side over there to try to meet the combo, and you might have a whole lot of free reign over here to get in deep.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool. I think that's about it. Blood. Any shout outs?
Shout out to Shunbud for going Iron Man with this 2-hour tutorial.
Woo! Any Twitter plugs you want to do?
No, not really. I mean,
No.
I am on Twitter at Justin M. Danford, but I don't really tweet anything TF2. I kind of just tweet literature things because I have a stupid English degree that doesn't really do anything but let me
Someone's
tweet
gonna
things.
love that. They're gonna want to hear
Yeah.
about Moby Dick from you, from your
Yeah,
Twitter
hopefully.
account.
I mean, if I ever get a stream, I am just going to read chapters upon chapters of Moby Dick, so we have that to look forward to.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for doing it. Thanks for waiting, and sorry
No
about
problem.
sorry about the crash. I thought about just calling and be like, oh, we kind of covered it, but then I'm like, well, fuck, he's been waiting for like 2 hours. I don't want to be like, never mind. Thanks for hanging, anyways.
It's all
But
good.
yeah. Anyways, thanks for doing this.
No problem.
I think that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. You can check out my YouTube there in the bottom left, the Sean Bud. I'll make sure to try to get this uploaded. It'll be in 2 parts now, obviously. I'm sorry about the crash. I really need to get that fixed. I'm not sure what's causing it. Need to try and solve that before match times, hopefully. What else? You can follow my Twitter. It's just at Sean Bud. And then the Steam group is Bud TV, I think, is the URL if you want to join that one. I also do announcements there when I go live. And I forgot to schedule this as an event. I don't even think I've announced it today. Sorry about that. I got kind of a late start and it was hectic because I had a visitor before we started. But anyways, thanks for watching again. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoy the series. Thanks to everyone that stopped by. Blank, Z Brian, Fragile, and Boulder. That was pretty in depth, and I'm sorry I kind of cut off Fragile and Boulder and Blood there at the end. Blank and Z Brian talked about Soldier a lot, and it's definitely a Soldier heavy map. Kind of centers around the roof control and the C point. So Soldier's definitely important. And we also talked about just in general the good portion about the first half hour or so was just like team strategies in general, and I think that's a good portion to listen to even if you don't want to watch the class parts. But anyways, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend.